Oh my God! That's just too dirty!
Yeah. This shit's fire.
This is a fucking banger.
Ladies and gentlemen, cats, snakes, dogs, chicken, elderly people, workers and twerkers.
Yeah.
Turn it up!
I don't give a fuck. It's the Ruckus. What the fuck you expect?
I body slapped my wife, my nigga.
No, we tried.
You know what?
Nah.
You know what? We're democracy here, and since Kelvin is a little bitch and he's crying about it, Bob Dylan gets a 4.1 when we take me and Daniel's score off and we put Biggs in because he's a 2.5.
That's fine.
So that's a 4.1, and Prince is a 4.7. So Prince actually benefited from this. So thank you, Kelvin.
That's the point. That's the point.
No, it wasn't the point.
Yes, it was.
You get muted for that because you're just you're trying to bring.
I am literally not trying to do anything to make him better. I'm trying to make this fucking reasonable.
Yeah,
really,
wait, KC, real quick, KC. Before we continue, let me just ask you a question. Who said that this podcast was a democracy?
This is Joe Budden. Relax.
People getting muted. Democracy.
Yo, you can tell democracy.
Daniel, KC, and Peter are the type that teachers they were like, yo, show work. They never showed work.
Yeah.
Nigga,
I cheated and I graduated. That's how I fucking graduated.
That's a terrible analogy.
There's been many tests. There's been many tests that I've went on without studying and got a fucking passing grade. But Kelvin wanted me to get a 0. Well, thank you, Kelvin.
Let's talk about never mind, nigga.
That's stupid.
Hold on. Bigaloni is caught that transition, and everybody just shitted on it. But anyway.
Yeah. What was it? What's
new?
I
caught it. That's,
nobody shitted on it. Why did you mess it up? We were going to talk. Speaking of Joe Budden.
Yes. Speaking of Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast and the controversy over how he fired Rory. and
check
your DM. To the curb because Mal sided with Rory. Shit. Let's talk about it, fellas.
Wait, he kicked Mal to the curb again?
Oh, dip.
They both left, right?
Let me frame it.
He sided with Rory, right?
They ain't both left. One of them got fired.
This is Kelvin's area of expertise because he loves the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah.
Let me frame the question like this. If they were friends, would Joe Budden still be in the right to do what he did and go about it the way that he went about it?
That shit is whack. It's whack on all sides, bro. Listen, here's my thing with it. It's whack on all sides. They're all wrong, right? Because then if they are friends the way they portrayed it to be, why are you going behind? Why are you getting your lawyers to go and talk to mine instead of just coming to me and talking to me?
Because of the previous actions. You already acted like we wasn't friends, so then from now on, I'm not treating you with the same fucking level I was treating you before. Like, why do I have to stoop down to you, but you can't stoop? Like, nah, that doesn't work like that. So the minute you stopped acting like we're friends, so fuck it, I gotta get my lawyers involved now, because the shit is not. We're not on the same ground.
From the standpoint, from what it sounds like, and I'm going off of what the recent podcast that was released, which was just Joe ranting,
and Parks agreeing.
Yeah,
I can't listen to that.
Parks is getting paid, whatever.
Twice as an engineer and as a host, a co-host. From
the sounds of it, Joe wasn't about sharing the
information
profits of the podcast, right? He had them according to him, he had them on as employees. That's his words.
Or salary.
I don't know what the truth is. But it was never a thing where if you get in a business with your friends, are you treating them as an employee, or are you giving them a percentage of the profits? Are you treating them as a co-owner, if you will? Right? That's what it comes down to. And
when things get better,
unless it's a situation where like the friend that I have and I'm getting into business with them, they have no knowledge of that area. I don't see a situation where I'm like, oh yeah, this is just an employee. That's tough for me.
So what was it that he actually did? Like, what was the beef? Because I don't.
According to Joe, the beef is that he went behind Joe's back, and his lawyer asked Ian, which is Joe's manager, to audit the financials for the business. Yeah, that's what Joe says the beef is. Rory
so it's a
and
trust
Maul,
issue right there.
Rory and Maul say the beef is that Joe is acting like a boss when they feel like they're all at an equal level.
Well,
like
okay,
they're all shareholders.
Let me make a statement to that point. That's their mistake, not his. Joe Budden is the anchor. Like him or not, it's not about liking him, but Joe Budden is the anchor to that ship. It's his name. He's the one that has the platform before this started. Like, he was the artist. Mm-hmm. He's the one that is the well-known. They're not getting.
Give him his flowers. Go ahead.
No, it's not. No, it's not about. I am a Joe Budden fan, but I'm just looking at this objectively.
Oh, really?
Listen. It's like if Jay-Z tomorrow.
Brutus, can I ask you this though? Then why didn't he do that podcast by himself? Bill Burr does a podcast by himself. Joe Rogan just interviews people.
Listen, if Jay-Z did a podcast tomorrow,
I asked you about Joe Budden, not Jay-Z.
No, but I'm gonna give you an example. And I'll talk about Joe Budden. Joe Budden could have done that podcast by himself.
No,
hell no.
Listen,
he couldn't, bro.
That podcast was not going to be as big as it was without Rory and Maul.
Yeah, but let me finish the point.
As fuck.
Yeah, he's wild.
Joe Budden is, he is. He's all of those things. I agree. What I'm saying is that Joe Budden could have done that podcast by himself, and what's going to be the attraction to make you listen to that is the fact that it's Joe Budden. It's the fact that you either love him or hate him. Rory and Maul, they're a compliment to the Joe Budden name, to the Joe Budden brand. Ain't nobody paying $10 a month to listen to Rory or Maul. They're listening to Joe Budden, and then they're listening to Maul and Rory in cohesion with Joe Budden. If things panned out differently and Rory left because he wanted to leave and Maul left on good terms, and you just brought two other people to compliment Joe Budden, the ship would still be going because people are there for Joe Budden.
Well,
it's not the Joe going. But what I'm saying is
it's already big. It's gonna be there. Now we have to see how long it's gonna last with those numbers.
But it's there because the main attraction is Joe Budden. It's the name. Ain't nobody paying $10 a month to come here.
But it's like The Office when Steve Carell left. The Office continued, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that Rory and Maul are Steve Carell. Obviously, Joe Budden is Steve Carell, but the thing is that it's not the same. It's not the same product. Because Ice and Ish, whatever the fuck they. Wow. I and Joe Budden. It's a completely different pod.
It is, but let me give you a great example with the Ruckus. Right, with the Ruckus right now, we got 10 members.
Oh
right?
Damn! Who's leaving? Who's leaving?
No. We got 10 members right now.
Said he's leaving.
got signed. Yo, if Charlamagne calls me, nigga, I'm fucking out, son.
If we got 10 people, on the podcast right now. Out of all of us on this podcast, none of us is the main star. This podcast isn't going because of Kraken or because of Bigalonius. It's because there's 10 of us who are equally sharing the mic. However, had Kraken been a podcast superstar and he asked us to join, we're on his ship.
That never happened. Joe Budden. If you didn't know, Rosenberg got him free studio time and showed him how to put shit on SoundCloud and iTunes when Joe Budden was starting this 6-7 years ago. Just to give you some backstory.
But no. Rory and Maul were not involved. Rory came in around episode...
It was Marissa. It was Marissa.
El más berraco.
I know what you're thinking. Where can I find more? For full episodes of the Ruckus Podcast, you can check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and your other digital streaming services. The Ruckus, it's organized chaos. Don't worry, we're working on getting Mike a better mic. Get it, Mike? And don't worry about it. You'll get it eventually.